This thing sure looks tall when you look at it up close. But why do they gotta build it up so high anyway?
The height gives them the necessary pressure to pump the water out. Also, building it in a spot where anyone could easily access it would only create more problems.
Problems?
In a certain Missouri town, they built the water tower low enough that a person could easily climb up to it. And that's exactly where a mass murderer decided to hide the bodies of all his victims. The water tower was so low to the ground that he could even climb up to it while carrying a dead body on his back. Incidentally, they ended up finding a total of 43 bodies in there. But the part that truly shocked Zach and I wasn't the number of bodies, Patty.
What?
It was the fact that over the 6 months from the first murder to when the case was solved, that whole time, the townspeople had been drinking the water.
Agent York! Look! I think we can climb up from there. Let's go.
But Patty, I was just getting to the good part.
So this is our town. Looking down on it from here, it's hard to imagine any bad stuff ever happened at all.
Listen carefully, Patricia. You just leave Melvin to me. I promise I'll take care of things. You're grown up. You're more of an adult than anyone else in this town, I guarantee it. But that doesn't mean you have to suffer through everything without ever saying a word about it. Just remember that, okay? Zach, it looks like the holy Allah hasn't been sucking up water properly. No wonder the shower in our hotel room felt so weak. Patty, who manages this water tower?
This is Lucare. You should know the answer to that by now.
The Clarksons. Judging from their current situation, I don't think they'll be able to give us a timely response.
Yeah.
Do you know where the water comes from?
Probably Isaac Lake?
That settles it. Let's fill the holy Allah and solve this problem ourselves.
I knew you were gonna say that, Agent York.
So, what other movies have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
What? That question again?
What did I tell you? In this country, all dialogues...
Okay, I'll answer it. I need to think of a movie that Schwarzenegger wasn't in. Oh, okay, I got one. It's a film about people who travel around the world in
Why do you think the Clarksons chose a dragonfly for their family crest? In some European countries, dragonflies are called devil's needles, and folklore suggests that they fly around, sewing up the mouths of children who don't do as they're told. In Japan, some samurai helmets are also shaped like dragonflies. There, dragonflies are seen as beneficial insects who march valiantly ahead, preying on the pests that devour crops. In other words, dragonflies symbolize opposite things depending on whether you're in the east or the west. But why did the Clarksons choose this insect to be their symbol? I can't help but feel like it's something deeper than the cliched image of dragonflies as guardians of crops. Hungan called the dragonfly a flying serpent. What if his interpretation was right on the mark? The Clarksons are serpentine. savage, cunning, and skilled at protecting themselves, but they don't slither along the ground. They're serpents with wings that allow them to soar above the rest, but now those wings are starting to fail on them. That's what really triggered this incident. After acquiring wings, the serpent attained prosperity and was crowned in glory, but now it's lost its power, wavering, moments away from plummeting back down to the earth, so it started lashing out against others, just like it used to do before it gained its wings. Sort of sounds like an ancient myth, doesn't it, Zach? Isaac Lake?
That's the name of the former head of the Clarkson family. When he retired, they built this lake to commemorate his career. That's why it's called Isaac Lake.
They wanted people to remember the power of the Clarkson family every time they used their water, huh?
You sure don't miss a beat.
The water level's higher than I expected. They probably haven't been out here to check on it since Lise was murdered.
I bet that's where the water gets sucked up into the water tower.
Mr. Alligator. Never thought I'd have to use you to fight a real alligator. Just what does that skeletal gentleman have in mind for us, Zach? Open the door, Patty! Now, Patty!
Patty, this town is so peaceful.
Excuse me? Did you forget that we're investigating a murder case?
True, but it's still far more peaceful than the city I live in.
Okay.
Okay, Zach, let's head back to the Holy Allah. We need to confirm with our own eyes that we've completed the Skeletal Gentleman's Oracle.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made... Lena Doman, aka Professor R. How could such an intelligent person like her suffer such a tragic downfall? Does the South really corrupt people like Patty said? This sunlight certainly seems capable of breaking someone down. No matter how you try to resist it, it's so hot it feels like I'm burning up. But
Zach, the Holy Allah is filling up. Looks like we'll be able to take a warm, invigorating shower tonight. Patty, are you okay?
No. Not really.
Worried about your parents?
Well, of course I am. My mom is sick, you know. And she got even worse starting about a year ago. She used to be so beautiful, but now she looks like a completely different person. She can't even get up out of her own bed no more.
I'm sorry to hear that. I already hurt you once in the past, and now it looks like I've gone and done it again.
No, I know Mama's illness ain't your fault, Agent York. It's more about Daddy.
He what?
Nothing. Just forget it.
Hey! Y'all get down from there right now! I said get down here, goddammit!
The heir to the Clarkson legacy has come for us, Zach. And he...
You rotten little snakes! This is private property, goddammit! I guess you really do want to throw down with a Clarkson, huh? Get out here! I never gave you permission. Yeah, you think you can just walk all over us, huh? Hey! You hear me? Climb down here right now! You're gonna pay for pissing off the Clarksons. Oh yeah, you'll get yours. Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, son of a bitch.
I could arrest you for drunk driving, but I simply haven't got the time.
What? What did you say? Ever since you got here, my whole family. And now they're all dead. You're Satan. You came here to destroy the Clarksons. You destroyed them. Satan.
Satan? Not quite, Daniel. I'm just an agent carrying out a mission in accordance with federal law. On the contrary, I came to put a stop to all these problems. You might even consider thanking me for it.
Federal law. Mission accordance. Did you hear that? Bastard wants me to thank him. I lost everything. My treasure. At least my old baby girl. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
You reap what you sow.
God damn it.
Whether you like it or not, you're the new heir to the Clarkson legacy. You could rebuild their empire, or resign it to the ravages of time. Do whatever you like. But you'll no longer be able to borrow a certain someone's power and march around like you own this town. You need to accept that and prepare to survive. Okay, Zach. Our investigation just led us to fill up a holy Allah. What do you think? Perhaps we're embarking on a new saintly line of work here. But I suppose we have the skeletal gentleman to thank for that. Next, we need to speak with the 17 comrades. We were blessed with this oracle, so we have a duty to follow it out to the end.
But come on. God damn it.
thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, Zach, do you sense that? These trees have watched over this land for the past 300 years. Long before the Clarksons built up their town, these trees were here. If they could speak, I wonder what they'd have to say about this case. Has there always been a different number of trees on each side?
Yeah. I heard that by the time our town came along, there were only 17 left. A general from the South might have cut one down during the Civil War.
Intriguing, Patty. Why did he cut one down?
I don't know. Folks say he planted a red tree in its place. I don't know if that's true or not, though.
Zach, the shape of these seeds. They look just like the ones we saw at Lisa's altar. Patty, it appears that legend about the red tree wasn't a total lie. The first tree is withered and gone, but the shells from its seeds remain. Perhaps that red tree left some descendants somewhere else. Zach, he seems to know something that we don't. Doesn't it seem like he's trying to guide us somewhere?
What? What's going on?
Change of plans, Patty. Let's go on a little stroll with that Dalmatian.
Is this the red tree that General planted?
No way! This is a maple tree.
A maple tree? Then it shouldn't be red at this time of year.
You're right. That's strange. A long time ago, my mama and daddy used to come here together a lot. They told me they used to go on dates here, back before I was born. Mama would make sandwiches, then they'd come here and eat them together. My mama was really pretty, you know. When I was a kid, I believed she was a real goddess. Under the boughs of a legendary tree that stayed red all year long, one man managed to win the heart of the most beautiful girl in the world. And they call him Melvin Woods.
Looks like it's time to move on. What a fantastic guide we managed to find. He actually waited for us to finish talking before taking us on to the next spot. Hey, Patty. How would you rate this creation?
Not bad, I reckon. They made good use of its natural form while also pulling out the soul from within. The artificial color also looks pretty. You don't usually see this level of harmony. Something unnatural always ends up getting left behind.
Zach, did you catch all that? She sounded just like the curator of an art gallery in New York. I think we may have just uncovered a new side of her. But unfortunately, I can't see anything artistic about it. Honestly, it looks insane to me. That's all I get from it. And there's no way that this is a descendant of the tree that the general planted. Zach, now this is interesting. It looks like a tree that you could find anywhere, yet it's also unlike any other, completely alien. And look how it's weaved its way into the landscape. Almost like cancer cells invading a human body. You might not even notice it unless you're focused on finding it. And this feeling. As I gaze upon this tree, I can feel evil emotions rising out from within me. Why on earth did that Southern general bring this tree into this town? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Do not touch this tree. Got that, Patty?
Got it, Agent York.
Zach, it's no use. The skeletal gentleman is a strict one, that's for sure. We're going to have to figure out what the giant lady's finger is if we want to continue on with this oracle. Lady's finger. Lady's finger. I'm at a loss, Zach. The only thing that comes to mind is a certain lady in glasses who displayed her middle finger to a truck driver. The student driver who was driving the car that Leslie Nielsen jumped into in order to chase down a criminal. 1988, directed by David Zucker. The Naked Gun. That car chase was terrific. It felt like we were watching one of our own car chases from the real world. That director must have gotten some advice from actual police officers. Otherwise, there's no way he would have been able to film such a realistic chase.
Hey, Agent York, can I say something? If you're looking for ladies' fingers, you know that's another name for okra, right?
Another name for okra?
Yeah, okra's pretty common here in Louisiana, so most people know about its other name.
Huh. Okra. My talented assistant strikes again. You solved the oracle instead of me. Let's hurry over to the okra farm at once, then. And find the biggest piece of okra while we're at it.
Hey, Agent York.
The key word is giant, so it must be rather large. I'll bet it looks positively grotesque, Zach. And just imagine the stickiness. Ooh, I think I'll refrain from taking a bite.
Hey, Agent York! Our town doesn't have an okra farm.
No? Okra farm?
Relax, just follow me. I reckon I know where we're supposed to go. This is the giant lady's finger, Okra Boy. He's kind of like the town mascot.
Okra Boy. You're right. No matter how you look at him, he really is a giant lady's finger. But Patty, there's no okra farm in this town, is there?
That's right.
Then why did they choose Okra for the town mascot?
Good question. He's been here for as long as I can remember. Daddy said he remembers Okra Boy being around when he was a kid, too.
The plot thickens. Zach, doesn't it look like he's pointing at something? Let's follow that white glove. Patty, that's it. So this used to be the control device for the drawbridge. But it looks like its insides have been replaced with something else.
Oh, yeah. I remember Daddy telling me about this. This drawbridge hasn't been used for decades now. So the control room doesn't work, and the power's been disconnected. A password that requires 3 letters?
Looks that way.
What's this, then? There's an H on the top, bottom, and left sides of the leftmost panel.
Patty, trial and error won't get us anywhere. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, which makes for 17,576 different combinations if we use 3 of them. Let's try something more efficient.
I know that. I was just fiddling with it. So, what do you want to try, Agent York?
Just leave this to Zach and I. Zach, this password may look complicated at first glance, but you needn't worry. This is a chemical formula. A challenge from Professor R. The H that's tattooed all over the leftmost panel stands for hydrogen. In other words, the leftmost panel represents the molecule you get when 3 hydrogen atoms merge. All we need to do is figure out which chemicals go in the remaining panel. Try reviewing what we know. We spoke to the 17 comrades who saw the birth of New Orleans, filled the Holy Allah, then found the giant lady's finger pointing toward the entrance to the Forbidden. After we met the 17 comrades, we encountered that ominous red tree. There was sap dripping out from the red tree's trunk, wasn't there? That must have been a metaphor for wood vinegar. Then, in order to fill the Holy Allah, we went to the reservoir. The water tower represents a distillator, and the water represents coolant. Wood vinegar, distillator, and water, Zach. Figured it out yet? The chemical formula is CH3OH, methanol. It's got to be COH, starting from the left in that order. Methanol is highly flammable and used as the base ingredient in formaldehyde. This has Professor R's name written all over it. That oracle really sent us on a roundabout mission this time. It almost feels like we're playing a video game here. Talk about stupid. That must be the entrance to the Forbidden, Zach.
You can't touch that! Smarty pants scientist said no.
Avery Smith.
Drawbridge don't work no more. The machine's junk. Yup.
You're right, Avery, but don't worry. I got permission to touch it.
Permission? Agent York, you got permission?
That's right. Permission from the President of the United States.
The President? Oh, he's a smarty pants. Okay. I didn't see nothing. Yup. Won't tell no one neither.
Hey, Agent York, are you really going in there?
Yes, I have to, for the sake of the investigation.
I'm getting kinda scared.
That's a rare word to hear coming from your mouth, Patty. I don't see much in there aside from some overgrown weeds, do you?
No, that's not it. I'm not scared of the weeds. I'm scared of what you'll find, Agent York.
You don't need to worry, Patty. You're my precious assistant, remember? I promise I'll protect you, no matter what happens. Patty, the truth is, when I first saw Okra Boy, I remembered something horrific. The most evil monster I've ever seen, in fact.
A monster?
Oh yes, a demon incarnate who plunged New York City into mortal fear. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Marshmallow?
Ghostbusters, 1984, directed by Ivan Reitman. Now that's a film that was filled to the brim with bona fide horror. A true masterpiece that boasted an honest depiction of just how frightening a real ghost would be. Even if you watched it now, I'm sure it would still chill you to the bone. First night I watched it, I was too afraid to go to the bathroom alone. So I made Zach come with me.
Ah! The door.
By the way, Patty, what do you usually do when you're at home?
Is this an interrogation?
Oh no. I just figured that since we're working together now, it'd be a good idea.
curse you.
Oh!
Zach, I think we found a laboratory.
Ugh.
A research log? No, it looks more like a journal. Look, Zach. This belonged to Lena Doman. A professor to the very end. This book is filled with all sorts of detailed notes. She studied abroad during school, most likely in order to get as far away from her father's prejudice as possible. Abroad, she studied chemistry and fire dynamics, then cultivated the groundwork for Sang Rouge. If what's written in this journal is to be believed, Sang Rouge is a naturally derived substance. That must mean it's something akin to ayahuasca, the hallucinogen found in the Amazon region. But Sang Rouge wasn't actually produced here. It appears that a special environment is necessary to summon the Red Demon. Zach, look at this. It says that when Lena was still known as Lenny, she once fell in love with a woman. She fell in love with her older sister. That matches up with what PJ mentioned just before he died. And apparently, they had a daughter. The Clarksons' family tree is far more complicated than I could have imagined.
You can say that again.
And here it says that the Clarksons' older daughter later fell in love with someone in town and got married. Then she must still be somewhere in this town. Hey, Patty, did you know about all this?
I don't know.
This entry is from right after she became Lena. Zach, what could this mean? A salesman passing through town gave me an epiphany that changed my life. She didn't create Sanrouge until after she met this person. And from that point onward, she started fanatically worshipping someone. She also ceases to mention anything more about her older sister, and the word goddess of fertility starts appearing everywhere. The final entry, written just before she headed to the Clarksons' house. No one can stop my plan. Not even me. My only worry now is P. I only pray the fool king can stop him. Zach, it looks like we've uncovered yet another new character. Who's the fool king? This is starting to read like a badly written tragedy. And P. It appears that Lena's worried about whether or not the Fool King will be able to stop our investigation and successfully murder this P character. P. Philip? Or Professor? No. It can't be. Oh. Whew. Hi there, Hundan. Long time no see. This is definitely your simplest oracle by far. Patty. Now it all makes sense. Zach, we need to hurry back to the hotel and put all this in order.
We've been in this town for longer than we originally planned, haven't we? Oh no, I'm not complaining. I'm used to living out of a hotel, and I love southern food. There are some inconveniences, though. There's no movie theater in this town, nor is there a video rental store, and the TV in the hotel room doesn't get any of the on-demand movie channels. We'll just have to get lucky and encounter a movie being shown on TV. The movie environment in Lucarin is no different from that of the 70s, Zach. No, they don't have a movie theater. So I suppose it's even farther back than that. But it's true that these are the times in which one always encounters the best movies. It's always been that way, hasn't it? Think back with me. Remember that hotel in the rundown town near Monroeville, just outside of Pittsburgh? I took a shower, and by the time I got back into bed, it had already started. Time Walker. 1982, directed by Tom Kennedy. I started watching it without any idea as to what it was about, but it instantly got me hooked. The plot highly exceeded all my expectations. Constantly revealing shocking truth after shocking truth, it was a hyper-realism masterpiece. Even after we checked out from the hotel, we couldn't get that film out of our heads. Not even when we stopped by the Monroeville Mall, the primary filming location for Dawn of the Dead. Instead of the living dead, both you and I were totally preoccupied with thoughts of that living mummy. And we were so excited to visit the Monroeville Mall, too. You kept insisting that you were going to track down those kumquats that Roger had eaten. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only reason I took on that case was because I knew it would let us travel out there. Instead, Time Walker blindsided us. And that's all we could think about. Even when we were inside the mall, we were both off in a different world. There... We found many new truths hidden in Lena Doman's journal, and some of them went far beyond our wildest dreams. First, we should clear up who PJ's first daughter is. She was a complete mystery until now, but after reading Lena's journal, I became convinced of something. She still lives somewhere in this town. Lena's journal stated that this woman married someone from the same town. Did you figure it out yet, Zach? Who is PJ Clarkson's first daughter? Yes, Melvin's beloved wife and the most beautiful woman in town, Candy. She's PJ Clarkson's first daughter, which means that just like Galena, Candy also carries his blood. Now we know why Melvin said that Galena was a beauty who could attract a lot of attention. Candy had no interest in the inheritance and was also sexually liberated. That must be why PJ ended up coddling Lena so much. Candy is supposedly sick, but she's now become a key person in our case. She must be why Melvin's gone missing. Melvin's beloved wife, Candy, committed a transgression in her past. Zach, what was it? That's right. Candy had intercourse with Lena. Then she gave birth to a child. A child that we know very well. We never heard any mention of her biological father anywhere in town, despite how much these country folk love to spread rumors. I knew there had to be some secret connected to her birth, but I never thought it'd be something like this. It's beyond anything I ever could have imagined, Zach. Next up is the Fool King, Zach. All you need to do is pick out the person who acted most like a fool when we encountered them. Honestly, the answer is clear, and it's a painful one to accept, isn't it, Zach? Melvin. He's got to be the Fool King. The way he's acted from the moment he located Lisa's body up to now. The way Galena was murdered, silenced, without any resistance. His discord with the Clarksons, the words PJ left behind, and the engineer boot prints we saw at the discovery site. It feels like the missing puzzle pieces are all falling into place now. But why did he decide to take part in Lena's plan? According to Patricia, he seemed to be avoiding Lena. There's no way he actually could have believed that the goddess of fertility would come and save the town. Oh, so that's it, Melvin. As you nursed Candy, you too became corrupted by Sang Rouge. Drugs rob people of their judgment. They slowly but surely eat away at their users. That's most likely the reason it took Lena so long to enact her plan. I don't know what to say, Zach. This is absolutely unbearable. Lena fell in love with her older sister Candy, and the two of them had intercourse. But afterwards, Lena realized that there was a disparity between her body and her mind, and descended into suffering. Finally, Lena left home and decided to live on as Professor R. Meanwhile, Candy fell in love with Melvin, which led to her leaving home as well. I could only guess that Lena and Candy's relationship continued after they left home. Then, their strange love transformed into something else that bound them together in a powerful new way. Lena must have periodically delivered Sang Rouge to Candy as offerings to the goddess of fertility. It's hard to keep going with this, Zach. You know where it's all leading, don't you? If Lena's plan was to kill off every last Clarkson aside from her goddess, then her next target is PJ's last living descendant. She's in danger. We need to hurry. Zach, the climax is upon us. Whoever hit me in that control room sure wasn't holding back. The blow was so devastating that I passed out instantly. There aren't many people who could do that. They hit me right in my head, so my memories are fuzzy. Not my finest hour, to say the least. Now, what should we do next? First, we're going to need to refresh ourselves a little. Sunbathing, Zach. Let's go bask in some liquid sunshine that's just as hot as the sun out there. Hey there.
You still here, Mr. FBI? How long you plan on staying in town for? After what happened at the Clarksons, the case must be closed, yeah?
Not quite, Chef. Our work isn't complete just yet.
Oh, yeah? Well, what can I get you?
May I trouble you for a cup of coffee? As hot as this blistering midsummer sun. Passionate and ferociously fragrant.
Huh? Are you out of your mind, mister?
I'm dead serious.
I will have you know this is a high-class establishment, and I'm the presiding chef here. I'd never served such a low-class beverage. All folks can drink here is a melody of rich, robust leaves. Tea, and tea alone. If you fixing to drink that muddy water, you'll have to go on over to my little sister's restaurant. Or would you like to switch over to tea?
Thank you for your offer, but I'll have to decline, Chef. I said I want coffee, and I meant it. That hot, bitter, dark, maddeningly odoriferous muddy water.
Well, then you free to do as you like. But you ain't gonna be drinking it here, that's for sure.
Zach, I seem to have mistaken our chef here for a more open-minded person. Oh well, it'll cost us a bit of time, but let's head over to Alexis's.
Oh, my lord. You sure look pooped, honey.
Hello, Alexis. Yes, someone did quite the number on me.
Must have given you one heck of a shiner. Well, let me get you some coffee so you can relax, honey.
Yes, that's it, Alexis. Just what I was waiting for. Would it be possible to get an especially pungent cup, smoldering with all the heat of the southern sun?
Coming right up.
Zach, look. Hattie. No, Melvin. No!
Oh, my lord, what are you trying to do? Wake the dead? What's wrong, honey?
Where is this boathouse located?
Oh, my lord, what's going on with you? Your poor voice is positively trembling.
Just tell me. Where is this boathouse located?
There's lots of boathouses around these parts, honey. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, then can you at least tell me when this photo was taken?
Looks to me like it was taken during the Clarkson-Campbell wedding party when PJ married his ex-wife, Audrey.
There was a building this tall in town back then?
Oh, you know what? That must be the cold storage warehouse. That big billboard on the roof is the Clarksons, see? I bet you'd be able to get a great view of all the boathouses in the swamp from up there.
Thank you. That's all the info I need. Would you mind if I borrowed this?
Shoot, of course not, honey.
Thanks for your help. And keep the change.
Oh, my lord.
think Patty's okay? She acts strong, but it seemed like she was deeply distraught. Where did Melvin disappear to? The same goes for her mother, Candy. We never even got a chance to meet her mother. Did they get swallowed up into the Clarksons' vortex as well? We need to hurry, Zach. As of now, Patty could be in danger. Can't stop moving until we find the source to all this chaos. Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Solima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well, but I definitely remember that it
Oh, it's you. I reckon I owe you an apology for how I think I get what you meant now. You'll no longer be able to borrow a certain someone's power. Well, those words woke me up. I need to get myself together or I'll sink. You saved me. So,
Now this is a surprise, Zach. Can a human being really turn themselves around this quickly?
Hey, come on, don't say that. I was drunk, you know. I lost my baby girl, my wife, then my father-in-law. I didn't know what to do. Blaming it all on someone else was the only way I knew how to cope. All right? What are you here for, anyway? Thought you already investigated this place.
I'd like to get your permission to climb up to the roof. Right up to that hideous sign there.
Oh, is that all? Well, go on ahead. I know you're a genius agent. And if you need to go up there, then by all means.
Danny, I'm not a genius. I'm a complete failure. I never even gave a single thought to P.J. Clarkson's first daughter. I was practically oblivious the entire time. I never considered the possibility that Lena had a child either. And that misstep cost us many sacrifices.
But you know all about it now, right? Then just move on. You figured out that it was Galena who murdered Lise. And that Galena was being manipulated by Lena. You proved that my treasure wasn't evil after all. It may have cost us a lot of sacrifices, but that still makes you a genius agent. And that's how I know I can trust you. Now, I don't care if you're FBI. I'm still gonna come clean and say it. Whoever killed my treasure is gonna pay. I want to track him down and kill him with my own hands. But I'm a Clarkson too. So I made up my mind. All Clarkson's got a job to do.
Which one is it, Zach? Patricia must be in the boathouse we saw in that photograph, along with Melvin and Candy, the goddess of fertility. What I saw at Alexis's restaurant, not only was my mind still reeling, but the oracle was also rather vague. But so what, Zach? We just need to find the same boathouse that we saw in that picture. There's got to be another singularity inside it. Zach, that's the boathouse. It's right where the photograph was taken.
but I have no idea how we're supposed to reach it. Zach? It looks like we have no choice but to head back to the starting line. Let's go and see the one who fired the pistol at Heaven. He should be able to transport us straight to that boathouse. Remember, his love for justice is so strong that he chased a poacher's boat all the way up the bayou. I'm sure he'll be happy to help us. Zach, stop and just imagine it for a moment. Chuck's face, once he hears that poacher's boat is actually a shrine housing the goddess of fertility. What's this? Who left this message for her? Zach, you know what? I forgot all about our 10-foot giant. We still have a lot of work left to do in this town. Zach, there's the biggest man we've seen in town thus far. Let's talk to him just in case. Hello there, Avery. I need your help. Would you mind raising your arms up high like this for me?
Raise my arms? Like this?
Thank you. That's perfect. It appears that even with your height, you'd have a tough time reaching a spot up that high.
I love Lise. But Lise got cold. Lise turned white. My poor sunlight wouldn't move no more.
Avery, I understand how you feel. I'm sure that Lise does too.
Really?
Oh yes, I guarantee it. Right now, I'm trying to eliminate the cause of her death. But I need your assistance. If you ever see a man who looks taller and stronger than you, I want you to let me know.
I will. You bet I will. Yup.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Unda. Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a... Hello, Chuck. The time has finally come to catch that poacher's boat you spoke of.
Oh, now he wants to catch the boat. Thought you FBI boys don't chase down boats. Ain't that what you said? Unless it's a terrorist boat that plans to overthrow our country, right?
You're exactly right, Chuck.
I discovered that boat does contain perpetrators who are potentially capable of overthrowing our country. Perpetrators who are deeply connected to a new drug called Sang Rouge.
And you expect me to help you?
Yes, I need your help.
I see you got the balls to match just how big a goddamn prick you are. Poachers can fuck with my farm all they want, but the moment drugs get involved, all of a sudden you're raring to go. Guess what? I don't give a shit.
I can't solve this case without your help, Chuck. If you're angry about how I acted earlier, then please allow me to apologize.
I don't want no apology.
Then how can I get you to trust me?
You really don't know when to shut up, do ya? As you can see, I'm busy here. So if you're done harassing me, then,
Chuck, that was amazing. Absolutely incredible, fantastic. How did you do that?
Thanks?
The answer lies in his physical advantage. That's it, Zach. Your stance when you toss makes all the difference. I can't get over how beautiful his stance was. Just what am I missing?
You like skipping stones? You know, I always trust a man who knows how to skip good. See, the key to skipping is how close your arm is to the water when you throw. You also need accurate speed, an accurate wrist snap, and accurate timing when you let go. That's why short folk who stay low to the ground and keep a low profile like me can skip better. And that's how I reckon I can trust a man who knows what skipping's all about. Got it? If you want my help, you gotta impress me with your skipping. Then I'll lend you my boat. Hot damn! Woo-wee! You're a natural. That was flawless skipping, all right.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You got talent, boy. And you're humble, too.
Well, I did have a great teacher. That's what helped me to stay low.
Yep, that's the key. Gotta keep low profile. Folks can learn a lot about life from stone skipping. Fellers gotta stay humble. Keep himself from getting all arrogant. Know what I mean? Okay, maestro, I trust you now. I'll take you into the swamp or wherever the hell else you want to go. Want to shove off now? Gotta make hay while the sun shines. Let's head over to my boat. Follow me, maestro. We gotta go round a bit to get to your boathouse. It ain't the safest route out there, so just be ready.
Zach, this is exhilarating. It's like an amusement park ride, only better.
Hold on tight now, maestro.
This is yet another reminder about just how vast and varied our homeland of America is.
This is as far as I can take you. You're gonna have to walk from here.
Thanks, Chuck!
Hey, you hear that wind a-howling? That there's a storm coming. You better watch yourself out there, you hear? Oh, yeah. And folks don't usually come round this end too much. So be careful. You got a weapon? Just give me a holler if you need me to come get you. I do always trust a good skipper from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate all your help.
Zach, a deadly premonition. How do you feel about this one? Honestly, I'm torn. I know the truth that awaits us here isn't one we want to accept. But we have to keep marching ahead. We're FBI special agents, remember? The United States Department of Justice has authorized us to deliver justice in their name. You know, sometimes I get to thinking, why did I ever decide to work in the justice sector?
Zach, we've reached the final stage. Are you prepared for the truth?
I love you. I'll do anything for you. I'll make your wish come true. Yes.
You stand before the goddess. Mind your manners.
Sorry, but I don't worship that deity.
You always were a rude one.
Patty, everything's all right now. Just come over to me.
She can't hear you, York. Patricia's already in a trance. Outside voices can't reach her.
You didn't. San Rouge?
Now what kind of fool do you take me for? She's the consecrated virgin, and virgins need to be pure. She won't be able to serve the goddess if she gets all corrupted, now will she? And besides, she's got a resistance to the stuff. Might be due to the blood she inherited from her parents, or might be San Rouge was designed that way on purpose. Not that it matters now, 'cause she's about to die. I wouldn't do that if I were you, York. Or did you forget who gave you Mr. Alligator to begin with? You think I'd hand you a weapon without any sort of safeguard in it?
This is straight out of a bad C movie, Melvin.
Call it what you want, York. But I'm the main character here, and you already played your part. Now that Candy's become the goddess, I will take her once more and claim my seat as the king who rules this town. Yes, I will be the one who rebuilds the Clarksons' legacy!
Power isn't important to you, Melvin. All you care about is your loving family, remember? The man who won the heart of the most beautiful girl in the world. Melvin Woods. We can still stop this from happening. You just need to wake up, Melvin.
York, you really are a second-rate man. You're incapable of understanding how other folks feel. Lena was the one I loved. Candy's merely the symbol we use to restore the Clarksons' glory. The goddess of fertility is just an idol designed to guide our people down the proper path. I devoted everything I had to Lena. Hey, Patricia!
Ah.
I was obsessed with Lena ever since I was a kid. She lived in a big mansion and also had skin as white as snow. All I ever wanted was to be just like her. My friends were too close-minded to understand. Don't let the white man brainwash you, they said. But race was never a part of it for me. She was always far above that shit. A higher being who surpassed it all. And by the time I grew up, she already changed forms and abandoned her home. At first, I was so shocked. It felt like my dreams had been shattered before I ever got a chance to pursue them. But when I finally got a chance to meet her face to face, everything changed. I loved her female form with all my heart. The moment I saw her again, she completely possessed my soul. Hey, York, you know how they say God created man in his own image? That's what Lena is. She's God's finest creation. The perfection of the human race.
She wasn't perfect in any way, Melvin. She was just another criminal who happened to be a bit smarter than most.
You never understand. Anywho, I decided to follow her plan. And so I became the one who supported her from the shadows, working to fulfill her dream of restoring the Clarksons' glory. That's why I seduced Candy, married her, and kept giving her sang rouge whenever Lena told me to. Then, you know what happened? About 1 year ago, we finally saw a sign of the birth of the goddess of fertility.
You mean she started growing horribly obese?
8 years. It felt long, but also short somehow. I knew from the start that much blood would be spilled. But I had no other choice. It was the only way for me to make my beloved angel need me.
So you murdered Galena, too?
Yeah, that didn't exactly go according to plan. Galena was supposed to kill Lise, and Lena was supposed to take Patricia's life. Then Lena and Galena were supposed to kill PJ and end their own lives. Filicide, patricide, and suicide. These 3 types of sacrifice were gonna complete the blood purge. But then you came to town. You're such a pest, York. I loathe every fabric of your being. Always buzzing around us like a gnat, trying to upset our faith, but no more. I'm gonna stop you right here, sacrifice my daughter, and complete Lena's plan once and for all. There may have been some hiccups in the plan, but the result won't change. After all, I'm her daddy. In the end, the goddess of fertility and her king will be the only ones left. We'll find a way to make do on our own. Hey, York, haven't you been wondering why I'm talking so much about myself? Because this is the last stage of the game? And nope, I've just been waiting for this. The bud. Soon, she'll be reborn, and the goddess of fertility will be among us. It all ends here!
Patty, are you all right?
Die! Shit! No! Stop, goddammit! Get away from her!
Daddy! Mama!
Get out of the way! But the goddess! Lena's plans!
Daddy!
No! Damn it! I was supposed to be the king! I need to stop the fire! Shit! Damn it!
Daddy, run! I'll die for you.
Patricia?
If Mama and I die, it'll all end, right? I know about the real you. I know that my blood's cursed. So I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna die here with Mama, so it'll all stop. Just please run, Daddy. You're a good man, aren't you? Daddy, you saved me?
Patty. Zach, I need you. Give me strength.
Daddy? You saved me? But why? Daddy! I can't do it!
Are you all right?
Agent York, save my daddy!
Get out of here! York, take my CLG! And run!
No! I can't leave both of you here!
Just go!
No! I'm not leaving! No! No!
I've sinned. I can't come back to this world. We have to say goodbye here. I'll take your mama with me. It's time for you to start a new life, sweetie. One where you won't be shackled to your destiny. York, I've confessed my sins. I'm gonna die here. I know this isn't how you wanted things to go down, but she's innocent. My CLG is pure. Please, just take her and get out of here.
No! No! I'm staying with you!
My daughter's in your hands now, York.
Let's go, Patty.
No! Let me go! Daddy! Mama! No!
I'm sorry, CLG. I've been a horrible father. Even before we ever met, I was always heading down the wrong path. But I finally understand it now. I love my family from the bottom of my heart. Both you and your mama.
Me too. I love you with all my heart, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Candy.
Red tree.
Lena, I'm such a failure. I screwed it all up again. Your whole plan's been ruined. I'm sorry. Right up to the end, I could never do anything right. Oh, really? So, it's all okay? Oh, good. Well, just hold on then. Candy and I will be right there. The worst father, graced with the sweetest daughter. Life can be a bitch sometimes. But it wasn't all bad.
Katrina brought that rain to us. And now, I realize that at the very end, I saw him. But she washed all that away. Every last trace.
Oh, I just love the look of glistening green grass. You know the green I'm talking about. Moist with sprinkler water, reflecting the radiance of the sun. In that regard, Louisiana's grass is in a class of its own. Just picture it on a clear summer day. A cold beer in one hand, gazing out from your porch onto the garden you're so proud of. This is the life. Doesn't get much better than this. That's how you feel
a well-kept garden, and a cold beer, the ultimate combination. They go hand in hand, just like hot dogs and sporting events. But that grass, it's got a bit of a nerve to it. It doesn't matter how many times you cut it down, it'll always keep coming back. Can't turn your eyes away for a bit. And that's when it'll really sprout up. Up until last week, your garden was perfectly pruned and balanced, symmetrical and pristine. But you wake up the next morning, and you can't even stand to look at what it's become. That's why people work so hard to cut their grass. Like it's some ordeal they've been tasked with by the big man in the sky. Oh. And it never ends. Understand me, Zach? If you want to stop cutting your grass, well, you need to either submit to its growth or force it to wither. That's all humans can really do. Hard work never really gets you anywhere in the big picture. Nothing but wasted efforts. You following me here? Now just be honest with yourself. Be honest, Francis Zach Morgan. Oh, howdy, Zach. So we meet again. Such a touching reunion. Like a little boy who was given up for adoption, finally reuniting with his true parents. Look, even little Willie here is beside himself with joy.
Kaysen!
Oh, dear.
Damn it! I'm gonna kill you!
Hey, let her go! What the hell's gotten into you? Jeez, are you okay? That should do it. Well, no turning back now. How should we clean this up?
I'm searching the room. This room is pure insanity. But I can't let it shake me. Why did you come here, Aaliyah? Remember the real reason you decided to investigate Morgan's house in the first place. We came here to find a missing girl. Patricia Clarkson isn't here. And he's done nothing except narrowly skirt the thin line of legality in all the right ways. He's so abnormal. How can there not be a single shred of evidence against him? Come on, Agent Jones. I know you're hiding something.
What are you talking about?
You've been watching him for 4.5 years, haven't you? Can you really stand here and tell me that you never saw a single one of the strange signs I'm picking up on now?
What signs?
Deadly premonitions. Preparations for kidnapping or terrorist activities, sexual depravity, violent tendencies, self-mutilation, or even just contacting a specific person periodically.
Nope, nada. He doesn't fit any of that. You think I'd really ignore something that obvious? I may be a schlub, but I'm still an FBI agent.
Then why didn't you do anything about this room? Or did you merely choose to ignore his abnormal proclivities?
You want to know what I did? I did my damn job! End of story! I was outside the entire time. How do you expect me to notice a room like this from out there? It's as simple as that. At least it was, until you dragged me into this whole mess. Don't blame me just because your big investigation ended up leading nowhere.
Then tell me the truth. After seeing this room, can you really say that man is in his right mind? He kept this room a total secret from you for over 4.5 years. No normal human is capable of such a feat. Only a true genius, or a true monster. Can you really guarantee that he won't try anything if we just let him go here?
Well,
Then you need to help me. Find some sort of evidence that we can use to make him reveal what he's plotting.
Okay.
Daniel Clarkson. The file said his only real talent was his ability to pick up women. But when I spoke with him in the warehouse, he seemed dignified, like a truly accomplished man. Marrying into the Clarkson family must have put him through a lot. A photograph of Patricia Clarkson. I thought she was imprisoned right here in this room, but there was no one here. Where could she be then?
Why do you think Jethro here survived?
Why?
I mean, doesn't he look like the kind of guy who'd die first in a horror movie?
He married into the Clarkson family. He didn't possess Clarkson blood, so he had nothing to do with Helena Doman's plan.
The blood purge thing? But if that was all there was to it, then Helena Doman wouldn't have killed anyone but Clarksons, right? Yet a ton of the Clarkson gang members died, along with Sheriff Woods. Doesn't add up.
She did whatever it took to achieve her goals. She'd kill if the plan required it. But killing people outside of the Clarkson family was never a priority. Her ultimate goal was to cut off the Clarkson bloodline. Maybe he was always meant to be an assistant to the goddess of fertility.
What, like a servant?
He was the kind of person who was most in his element when he had someone to serve. Even afterwards, he let Patricia take over the estate, while he became her assistant. As soon as he settled into his role, the townspeople started to respect him. Now they practically revere him, and he's even earned himself a nickname, One-Armed Danny.
So you think his life played out exactly the way Professor R planned it to go? Talk about tragic.
I was so positive, but she isn't here. There is something about this room, though. Agent Jones, what do you think?
Me? I'm not as smart as you. Why are you even asking me?
Are you hiding something?
Of course not. Knock it off. Me? Hiding something? Ha! That's a good one. Come on. I got nothing to hide.
I thought I would find answers in this room. I thought that Patricia would be here, but I was wrong. This room is only filled with photos of people related to the case and the handiwork of a madman. Feels like I'm wandering through a heavy mist. Why is Morgan showcasing those women's photos? And that bed. Sheriff Melvin Woods. I never met him myself, but his face makes him look like a very nice guy. His background in childhood didn't have any red flags either. Yet we're supposed to believe that he was one of the masterminds behind that entire incident? After she lost her family in the Le Carré incident, she went to go live at the Clarkson estate. And once she grew up, she assumed control of their empire seemingly without any hesitation. She must be strong. How did she eventually come to accept her cursed blood and the fate it placed on her shoulders? Is this supposed to be the altar from the site where Lise Clarkson's body was found? Why would he want to replicate that inside of his own home? There's no way this man is sane. If you loved someone from the bottom of your heart, would you ever be able to marry someone else? Or kill for them?
Whoa, what are we talking about?
I never heard of any kind of motive like that in any other murder case. I just keep feeling like we're being fed a story that he made up in his mind.
True. Honestly, without having experienced what that's like, I can't really say what I'd do. But I'd never try and force love to happen if it didn't seem like it was meant to be. There are 3.5 billion women on this planet. There's got to be more than one specific person who anyone can fall deeply in love with, right?
But what if we were talking about pizza, not women? You just discovered the perfect ultimate pizza. But you aren't allowed to take even a single bite unless you kill someone for the cook.
Have you ever loved someone with all your heart?
What kind of person do you take me for?
That's my line.
The one who took her in after the incident was Daniel Clarkson, the next in line to succeed the Clarkson family. He's the one that ended up raising her from that point onwards. Isn't fate strange? In the end, two people who were completely unrelated by blood ended up inheriting that house.
Yeah, you're right. But sometimes I wonder, what is family anyway? Go back far enough, we're all strangers to one another. We're talking countless generations, marriages and birth, you know.
Humans love to deify the rules they create. It's almost like that's been an unwritten law from the very start. Why did Lise have to die first? What is this?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
This room paints such a bizarre picture. But upon closer look, I can see some strange sort of pattern to it all. Was Morgan trying to recreate something with all this? If so, there must be a reason for all of these weird and hideous things. I've seen the bedrooms of countless violent criminals, but this one is on a completely different level. It's beyond insane.
What's that?
A hunting trophy. A brown bear. with a dragonfly eye patch.
Why is it smoking a cigar?
It's probably supposed to represent Philip J. Clarkson's body.
And the elk is?
Helena Doman.
So that's why it's got such good taste in fashion. And this one is Galena Clarkson?
Why did he want to line up corpses that were killed in different places, all together in a single room? Red seeds?
You sure it's okay to press that?
Won't know until we try.
Hey, it's Woodstock. Look, a peace sign. Love and peace, man. Even I can figure out what this is from. It's Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Grateful Dead, and Led Zeppelin. But I shouldn't have to explain it to a music nut like you, right?
That isn't a peace mark. It's upside down. You don't need to be a music nut to see that.
Who says that's the top part? If you're looking from Lisa's head, this is the top part, making it a big, fat peace mark.
No, this is the ground.
Where's your proof?
The red seeds. Seeds go in the ground, right? That makes this wall the bottom. Lisa's head is clearly at the top. Period. Also, Agent Jones. Led Zeppelin never played at Woodstock. He's representing a human with a hunting trophy made from an animal. I feel like I'm looking at a piece of modern art done in really bad taste. When Helena Doman attacked the estate, he just happened to be somewhere else. Whether it was through luck or simple coincidence, that's how he managed to survive. When Helena Doman returned home, someone must have let her inside.
You think that was her brother-in-law, Daniel?
I don't know.
Well, alligators did chomp his arm off. He probably had it in for old man PJ, too. But, you know, I don't think he had anything to do with this.
Why not?
You're making it out to be more complicated than it really is. That's always the problem with people like you. Too smart for your own good.
Just get to the point.
Professor R marched straight through the front door to the mansion. She arrived right at her destination using the quickest route possible without having to undergo a single security check.
I know. My question is, how was she able to do that?
Because she's family. It doesn't matter if PJ disowned her. He never stopped loving his son. A father would never abandon his child, no matter how much they fail to fulfill his expectations. That's what being a parent is all about. Don't look at me like that. I know, I don't have a son myself, but I have a father. He's still back in my hometown, managing the printing plant my grandfather started. He'll be turning 80 soon. He wanted me to take over the place, but as you can see, I'm out here. But I know how this whole thing works. Even though I haven't seen him in forever, the minute I go home, he'll welcome me with warm, open arms. Sure seems like our friend Daniel here was just destined to suffer. He crossed the entire continent and married into the Clarkson family, all for the sake of the woman he loved. But then the love of his life became a drug addict and ended up murdering their very own daughter. And she too was murdered as part of her big brother's conspiracy. Finally, In order to prove that he could take responsibility for the family, he gave up his right arm to his father-in-law, who got blown to bits soon afterwards. And to add insult to injury, all the inheritance went to PJ's secret heir. If I had to go through all that, I'm pretty sure I'd go crazy.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
He found someone he loved so much, he moved across the entire continent just to be with her. It also seems that he was eventually able to make an identity for himself and Lucare as well. After I found his daughter's body, I interrogated him for a bit. When I told him we were going to do an autopsy on her body, he didn't react violently in any way. I remember him looking relieved and tired, kind of like someone who'd just woken up from a coma. Anna Graham, the first victim of the Greenvale case. Her body was found hanging from a tree, like a goddess being worshipped in a sanctuary. Meanwhile, Lise Clarkson was found on the bank of a river in an area that had been fashioned into an altar. The person who gruesomely ended the life of that young woman must be brought to justice.
I completely agree. They both still had their whole lives ahead of them.
The Lucare case and the Greenvale case. According to my investigation, the one key that links both cases is Francis Zach Morgan. But if we look at the cases from his point of view, we see one more connection. The red seeds are also present in both cases. I believed that he was the one who brought them to both towns. But maybe... No, never mind. He was taught how to rule as a child, never confided in anyone, and married for purely political reasons. Then he prospered so much that he became powerful enough to rule an entire town on his own. But in the end, his own child betrayed him and ended his entire clan in a series of violent deaths. If that was your life, how would you look back on it?
Yeah, beats me. I wasn't born into a rich family, nor was I ever taught how to rule. And for what it's worth, I've also never knocked up a young ex-actress. But I guess the one thing we can say is that any good life needs balance. Get too hung up on one thing and you lose sight of everything else. And if you betray someone, you'll get betrayed too. Someone thinks they can step all over people and then live out the rest of their life in peace. They're fooling themselves. We always get to see how those people end up in our line of work. In the end, they die horrible deaths. That is why pizza is the only thing I trust. Pizza never betrays you.
She planned a string of murders all in order to restore the Clarksons to their former glory, right?
Yeah. According to Morgan's story. Matches up with the files, too.
But the only proof of that is the confession she privately gave to Morgan just before she died. Galena Clarkson was also murdered immediately after she confessed. Don't you think it's all a little too convenient?
Well, story-wise, yeah.
And the sacrifices. None of the FBI's official records contain an example of an actual human sacrifice. Aside from the cases that Francis Zach Morgan handled, that is.
There are tons of examples of animal sacrifice, though. And remember the witch hunts back in the Middle Ages?
Meaning?
Meaning, there are always exceptions to the rule. And Morgan alluded to the existence of some sort of journal, right? I think he said he read it in Professor R's lab. If we could find that, maybe this would all become easier to swallow.
The report didn't mention anything about a journal. And if it truly did exist, it surely would have been submitted as evidence. Unless he tried to cover it up on purpose. Or
Unless the journal never existed in the first place.
Exactly. This case took place in Lucare and centered around the Clarksons. Oppressive authority, cross purposes, madness, and love. But Katrina took the truth along with many innocent lives and buried it all at the bottom of the swamp. But there's one truth that can never be washed away. This all started with the death of a young girl. A woman so beautiful she felt like she could make it as an actress in Hollywood. Sometimes it seems like God abandoned us humans a long time ago. I feel it more and more with each new case. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered in Lucare in 2005. After that, she remained frozen for 14 years, waiting for someone to discover her. I was the one who found her, which means I have a duty to lay her soul to rest. Galena Clarkson went to California to become an actress, but things never took off for her, so she eventually returned home. Then she murdered her own daughter and ended up like this. Where did she go wrong?
She did manage to appear in a few movies, right?
Not as any characters with actual names, and never with much clothes on.
So that's the only value they saw in her, huh? Sorry, that was insensitive.
It's an everyday occurrence in that world. She was also bullied a lot.
Bullied? How?
They'd cut up her costumes, her scripts, and even her own clothes. Everywhere she went. Then, after 3 years of that, her stylist chopped off a chunk of her hair. By accident.
Are you kidding me?
I did a little investigating on this. In the end, a self-titled big cheese producer tricked her. She almost ended up going into porn.
Not hard to imagine what would have happened after that.
One witness said that after returning to Lucare, she refused to use scissors to cut anything. I think she's the biggest mystery out of all the people involved with the Lucare case. How could she agree to kill her own daughter, then herself? It's hard to imagine ever being okay with that, no matter how depressed I became. Why did she believe what Professor R told her? The whole blood purge story. There's no way anyone in their right mind would ever believe that.
You got a point.
No matter how badly all the bullying must have broken her heart. Don't you?
Yeah. But you shouldn't think too hard about it.
Why not?
Human beings don't make sense. We always do things that can't be explained with common logic. Especially when it concerns our parents, children, and siblings.
That doesn't satisfy me. No matter how irrational an action may be, I want to know exactly why that person made such an irrational decision. Otherwise, what hope do we have?
You're never going to be in a situation where everything makes perfect sense. Just stop sticking your nose so deeply into everything. That's my advice, as an old guy who's lived twice as long as you.
You and I are nothing alike. You decided to give up on your life and spend the rest of your time on Earth sitting around and playing Sudoku. The 16-year-old girl, after that I was, which means everyone thinks that the principal thing to the tree is the fruit. But in point of fact, the principal thing to it is the seed. Now I know why Lise Clarkson was murdered first. Lisa's death was Professor R having second thoughts. According to Morgan, her plan was to perform parricide and filicide, then commit suicide. Those were the 3 deaths necessary to complete the ritual, remember? Which means she technically could have killed Patricia first. That would have been the best way to delay any interference from the Clarksons themselves. The reason she didn't kill Patricia first is because Lena was actually following a different plan inside her own mind. Or perhaps she merely changed her plan as she followed through with it. At some point, new emotions started to take root within her. She had second thoughts about something. And in order to shake those off, she used Galena to kill Lise first, in order to cut off any possible escape. But that only made her plan move ahead quicker than she could have ever imagined, which forced her to rush right up to the end with those misgivings always in the back of her mind.
Huh? Wait, hold on. Yeah, you lost me. What are you talking about?
In other words, at some point, Helena Doman decided that she wanted to make Patricia the next heir. The blood purge wasn't for the goddess of fertility. It was for their daughter, Patricia.
Wait, are you saying Helena knew from the start that Sheriff Woods would die with Candy?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Huh.
Remember, this is only assuming that everything Morgan told us was true. Until I can trust that man, this is all nothing more than conjecture.
Considering how insane this all is, it sounds perfectly believable to me.
Francis Zach Morgan. Remember me? Oh, cat got your tongue. Understood. You know why I'm here, don't you? Surely you must know what this means. To commemorate our reunion, allow me to give you another oracle. The contract, once signed, will last for eternity. But only in the presence of true love. Did you hear that? Good. It's been a while since I felt this. You know, there's hardly anyone in this era who can see me like you can. And they've been dropping like flies since you first came to see me. Breaks my heart. We don't have much time. Do you have any questions for me? Excellent. You pass. You haven't changed, Francis Zach Morgan. But that question isn't for me to answer. Go and see it with your own eyes. Oh, time's up. We'll have to finish this during our next reunion.
Oh, this is bad.
Agent Jones, what is this referring to?
Avery Smith kidnapped Patricia Clarkson and escaped.
Avery Smith? The vault manager? Why would he kidnap Patricia? Tell me what's going on right now.
Well...
Answer me, Jones.
I made a deal with Morgan. Back when he took me to the bathroom.
What? What?
Morgan said something to me. If we want to find Patricia, we need to look at Avery Smith.
Have you lost your mind?
What he said made sense. Ever since 2005, Avery's been working deep inside that cold storage warehouse. He was also arrested in the past for getting too friendly with Lise Clarkson. And after Katrina, he apparently worked on renovating the warehouse for free. What if that allowed him to freely modify the warehouse as he pleased? That would explain why her body remained missing for 14 whole years. Then, I did a little check and found out that he never went back to work after Christmas vacation ended.
So what? Why would you trust him?
I don't. I just decided it was worth investigating, that's all. So, I sent 2 agents to Avery's house without telling anyone. I just called in a favor from an old friend in the New Orleans branch.
No one gave you clearance for that. You think you can just...
But what if Morgan's telling the truth? If he is, we're both gonna look like total clowns. Clowns who went barging into a former agent's house on completely unfounded suspicions. HQ will have a field day with us. They'll string us up as the 2 dumbest agents to have ever graced the field. I just wanted to take some precautions. And besides, if he is lying, it's still no skin off our backs. Right? If things work out, we'll end up solving a difficult case that's been driving everyone crazy. Imagine that. You and me, just the 2 of us, solving a case like this. I'll be able to jump ship on this crappy job. And you'll be able to freely investigate all things Saint Rouge, just like you've always wanted. Besides, you know that Morgan is Director Abraham's favorite. Even if we get into some sort of trouble, if Morgan testifies to Abrahams for us, we'll totally be in the clear.
I don't care. This isn't the way things are supposed to be done.
Well, I'm sorry. But I had no other choice. You were so engrossed in this, and come on, you know how I am. Besides, saving the hostage should take priority above all else. There's no time for squabbling. We need to find Avery Smith no matter what it takes.
But how?
Well...
Thanks to your heroic maneuvers, we just lost our suspect.
I know, but...
I know how to find him. I should be able to see the other world, the way I am now. Just let me go, please.
Morgan?
It's okay, my fairy. I know I can convince them. Definitely not the best thing for them to see right now. If I saw that during an investigation, I wouldn't be able to stay calm and listen to someone either. I found the first one last autumn. A dead rat with a bud coming up out of its stomach, just like this one. A rat ate a red seed, died, and the bud sprouted. Honestly, it shocked me. Up until this point, I'd only ever seen red seeds, saplings, and big trees. So I decided to grow one of my own.
What are you talking about?
I needed to solve the mystery of the red trees. Why do they exist? But all of my sprouts died without ever growing the tiniest bit. Forget about a big tree. I couldn't even grow a single sapling.
So you kept experimenting?
2 days after the seed enters a rat, it takes the rat's life. On the 3rd day, a bud sprouts up, then grows to that size after 5 more. I tested this on 137 corpses.
In only a few months?
but I was never able to grow a bud any larger than this size. I still remember what he told me. Apparently, there's a special trick to me.
You're totally insane.
Maybe. Aaliyah Davis. She's on edge, as she should be. Who wouldn't be after seeing this room? Simon's lost in thought. What will his next move be? Will he follow the plan? Or... Please, Aaliyah Davis, let me go. This is our case to finish.
No, you aren't an agent anymore.
But you don't know how to find him. Neither of you ever could.
Oh, I'll find him. I swear on my pride as an active agent that I won't give up until I do.
That won't get you anywhere. It's beyond you.
Shut up! You think we can't find him, but you can. Just how stupid do you think we are? If you want us to believe you, then it's about time you showed us some proof.
I don't have much time left. I'm pretty sure that's why I can see the other world now. I'd lost that sense ever since the Greenvale incident, but it's back now. Please, will you just trust me? Come on, Simon. You'll trust me, won't you?
What?
No, Agent Jones. Remember the warning I gave you at the very beginning? You can't let him take control of the conversation.
Yeah, I know. I know.
A lot of time's passed since I last saw Patricia. If I hadn't gone back to Lucare, she probably would have never been kidnapped. I dragged her back into her cursed destiny. Helena Doman, aka Professor R. Her complicated life only added more complications to the Lucare case. She's the one who gave the red tree a chance to take root inside her. A strange man was stalking Lise, and Patricia resembled Lise so much that I once confused them for a moment, meaning it would be no surprise if the same man went after Patricia. Why didn't I think of that until now?
If your story is true, then why did Avery Smith kidnap Patricia?
Patricia resembles Lise. I even got them confused once. And Lise reported being stalked by a 10-foot man.
That's Avery Smith?
Exactly.
But he's only 6'7" at best. His physical characteristics don't match the person you're talking about.
I once concluded the very same thing, but now I know. That was definitely Avery. He protected Lisa's body for the past 14 years, until you discovered his sleeping beauty.
So after losing Lisa's body, he kidnapped Patricia as a replacement? That's ridiculous. Is that really what you think happened? Even if Avery did possess that sort of mentality, it doesn't make sense. If Lise was really that important to him, he would have tried to steal her back. Not now, maybe, but certainly after she was buried.
Would you be able to go on worshipping a goddess who had been defiled by so many hands? That ice was a barrier, a shield that separated the divine from our world.
You said that she was the mastermind behind the tragedies in Lucare, that her convictions about the Clarkson bloodline are what started it all.
Yes, that's right.
She instigated her younger sister into killing her own niece. Then she committed suicide immediately after killing her father, hoping that Sheriff Woods would be able to complete her plan. How could one call such an unpredictable series of events a plan? And as we saw, Sheriff Woods chose a fate that was completely different from what she envisioned.
No, he didn't. In the end, things went exactly as she planned.
What do you mean?
At a certain point, she realized that her plan was wrong. So, she tried to adjust things, using me as a pawn. But then, the unexpected happened. She and I both underestimated what Avery was capable of. That's why I'm here right now trying to convince you, in order to save Patricia's life. A lot of Hey, Belle. Your hypothesis was pretty much on the mark. Last week, I went back to Lucare. Then I bought a used car and got on a train in Trenton. But not for the reason you think. I wasn't stalking Patricia. And I'd never try to kidnap her.
Then why would you go there? Why would you risk so much, especially since you knew that you were under surveillance?
Because, once again, I'm chasing Sang Rouge.
Sang Rouge?
Even after I quit the FBI, I continued to study the red trees on my own. And now, I've come to the conclusion that those red seeds and Sang Rouge both come from the same roots. I also found proof that someone's inherited the original recipe. That's why I flew to Lucare, to confirm my suspicions. But I was more powerless than I ever could have imagined. I couldn't move like I used to. No badge, no gun. So, after wandering aimlessly around town, I swallowed down my torment and my weakness and left.
You expect me to believe that? What's that supposed to mean?
You found Lise Clarkson's body. The one thing I never did. And only a few days after discovering the body, you came to visit me. You should be fully capable of discerning that what I'm telling you is the truth.
Talking much about oneself can also be a means to conceal oneself. You can't trick me.
Avery showered me with key words. Smarty pants scientist, research, and lab. Why didn't I pick up on any of it? If shallow prejudice is what prevented me from taking his words seriously, then I truly am a failure as an agent. No, I know why. I was still immature as a human being. That's the eerie drum that Pastor Tyrone gave to me. The pressed flower I took from the hotel bathroom is still right on top, and it hasn't even wilted. Maybe it really was blessed with some sort of holy power. Nah. The man who built up the Clarkson Empire, he must have been able to withstand unfathomable pressure and accusations. Well, the more I learned about him, the more I felt like he was completely beyond my reach. He possessed an impeccable mind. I can still remember that even now.
What is this drum? Please don't tell me it was a tool they planned to use for the blood purge.
Sharp eyes as usual, Belle. No. It was part of an even darker ritual. I can't even bring myself to say its name. It was far more important to our case, and far more horrible, if you can believe it.
What?
No, that's just a drum. A drum made from 3 empty cans, animal skins, and a fragrant pressed flower.
Like I said, what is it?
Maybe it's a souvenir?
What? You expect me to believe that? You said that someone inherited the Sang Rouge recipe. Is that someone Avery Smith?
It has to be. Avery used to help Professor R do research in secret.
What? Well, that wasn't in the report.
I only realized it just now, the moment I spilled my coffee on the floor. Avery revealed that he was helping with some sort of research. But at the time, I let his confession go in one ear and out the other. Now that I look back on it, I realize it was solid proof that he was helping her produce Sang Rouge.
What makes you think that?
He had free access to the deepest parts of the cold storage warehouse.
Oh. Wait.
Meaning...
Sang Rouge needs to be produced in an extremely cold environment.
Exactly. Aaliyah Davis. You already considered this possibility, didn't you? That's why you investigated the cold storage warehouse as soon as you got to Lucare, in order to locate where Sang Rouge was being made. Then, you came across Lisa's body by pure chance. Melvin's cheerful exterior betrayed all the darkness that lurked within him. His happy-go-lucky personality was probably just his way of coping with reality. It all makes sense. Now I understand why he kept insulting Lena. The Greenvale case. It awoke me, and also stole my irreplaceable best friend from me. If it weren't for that case, I might still be an FBI agent. But the case dealt such a blow to me, it shattered all those dreams. Aaliyah's smart. She's top class, even within the FBI. She must understand that what I'm saying makes sense. The problem is that she's too smart. The way she is now, she'll refuse to accept anything that can't be explained with logic. Melvin wasn't the Fool King.
What?
Many different characters pop up in Lena's journal, and I mistook one of them for someone else.
What are you talking about?
After Simon hit me and I fainted, I had a dream. Now I'm convinced. I'm the Fool King. The Fool King was always meant to be an outsider who suddenly arrived in Lucare. And the man she felt a need to eliminate wasn't me, but Avery. Lena realized her plan was on the verge of falling apart. She also guessed that I would be able to save Patricia from Melvin. The one worry that remained in her heart was leaving Patricia behind and how her life would play out from that point on. Especially since she would be left behind with Avery, the large, childlike man who's beyond anyone's control. She wrote that journal entry hoping that I, the Fool King, would be capable of stopping Avery. And she wrote it in a specific way in order to try and rouse me to action. Lena and Melvin both entrusted me with their daughter. So please, just let me go. It's my duty to protect her.
Who do you think benefited most from the Greenvale case?
No one benefited. Many lives were lost. That's all.
You really believe that?
Everyone who survived was overcome with sadness, scarred for life.
Without exception?
Without exception. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I feel like you're the one person who benefited from the case. You were able to add a new chapter to your stunning career and earned unshakable trust from the chief. That's what allows you to go on using his intel network as you please, even though you're retired.
Are you seriously suggesting that? Sickness is destroying my body. Yet, somehow, I'm unable to forget the cases connected to those seeds, whittling down what's left of my life, chasing them. You really think I'm doing all this for nothing but self-interest? Is that really what you're saying?
I understand what you're trying to say, but it's too perfect. It's too perfect, just like that report of yours. How could you come to such a detailed conclusion after spending years shut up in this room? It doesn't make sense. The only possible explanation is that you're bending the narrative in the direction you want it to go.
Why do you think I left the field for 2 years after Greenvale? That case cost me not only my best friend, but also my special talent. I never thought I'd lose something like that. But ever since then, I've been unable to solve cases using that method.
Metaphysical offender profiling.
I tried everything I could think of to regain my lost talent, but it never came back to me. That's why I quit working for the FBI. And without anywhere else to go, I simply spent my days seeking truth, searching for an answer I'd never find. So time continued to cruelly pass me by, until finally a disease started eating away at my body. I thought it was all over for me. But about half a year ago, I finally reached my conclusion. Everything started with the red seeds. He and I encountered these seeds long before we reached Greenvale. Under the seething, mind-melting sun of Louisiana. Then, for some reason, in the beginning of December, I finally regained my talent. And instantly, I could see the other world again. Get it? Through allowing the cancer cells to ravage my body, I regained the power to travel to the other side. This is the only answer, Aaliyah Davis. Truth is a surprise, born from coincidence and an unknown power. What came first? The seed or the fruit? Who cares? To me, those red seeds are the beginning and the end of it all. Melvin, neither York nor I were able to uncover the darkness within you. How did we miss it? Are you and Candy finally happy now on the other side? Or are you still suffering, trapped by the bonds of the red tree? Her actions shocked me the most. How could a mother ever kill her own daughter? But I know the answer now. The red tree. The red tree can take control of everything. It's what leads us into the mouth of madness. She was the first perpetrator in the case,
And technically, she was also the first victim. Maybe... Well, it's impossible to ask her now, but... Maybe she really did love her daughter with all her heart. And so, she was afraid. Afraid of what would happen if her daughter did end up inheriting the Clarkson estate. It was fear, or something like it. That's what lit the red tree inside.
That's still no reason to kill someone. Especially not your own daughter.
I know. Of course I know that. And I'm sure that deep down, she did too. I made a promise with Melvin. He entrusted me with Patricia. All he had left.
But immediately after you solved the case, you sent her to the Clarksons and left town. Isn't that right? So you have no right to step back into the picture now.
That was the wrong thing to do. I was young. But now, I have the chance to right my wrong.
You can't be serious. You can barely stand up.
Hey, Aaliyah.
I know, Agent Jones. I know I'm stepping over the line here. I just want to make it clear that we can't trust a word of what he says. Two bizarre cases derailed your life. It must have been extremely painful. You have my deepest condolences, but that doesn't put you in the clear. You're still a suspect.
A suspect? For what? Patricia isn't here.
The murders of Sheriff Melvin Woods and Candy Woods. Their bodies were never recovered. Katrina carried them away, along with many other lives. Aside from that report you wrote, there's nothing that proves your innocence.
Hey, let's not jump to conclusions here.
Oh, I'm not. I also suspect there's a possibility that he murdered individuals connected to other cases that he's worked on. The Greenvale report bears the same inconsistencies as this one, and both cases are filled with victims whose deaths were never witnessed.
Stop. Don't say another word. If you so much as mention her name.
If I mention it, then what?
You will pay. Twinkle, my fairy. Don't look at me that way. I know how talented she is. I completely agree with you on that one. But I can't hand everything off to her just yet. Can you just let me get my way one last time? Belle. No. Special Agent Aaliyah Davis. You're exceptionally talented, I admit it. You found Lisa's body, then discovered the red seeds all on your own. You even noticed that there was someone else in this room. You've got amazing intuition. You're a hunter with an extremely keen sense of smell. But you still can't perceive the other world the way you are now. That's all there is to it. Simon, look inside that trash can.
Huh? The trash can?
It's right behind you. Then you'll know for sure that I'm telling the truth. We told you not to touch the sanctuary!
What is this?
What's on that receipt? What is it, Agent Jones?
FK. Oh, holy crap. Huh.
Contact a local agent and have them investigate Avery Smith's home. There are still agents investigating the Lucare area, right? Trust me. That's where Patricia Clarkson is.
Trust you? Where's your proof?
Ask Aaliyah Davis. Ask her about the name of the person who tipped her off.
What do you mean?
You're from Chicago, and you love pizza, right? Especially deep dish pizza, smothered in cheese.
What does this have to do with pizza?
Just ask her. And ask her why she decided to take this case in the first place. Got it? Pizza will never betray you. So you need to trust it, too.
But how could you have known that I would come here with her?
I didn't. I just bet on you.
God damn it.
Hey! Tell me what's going on right now, Agent Jones.
Thank you, my fairy. Car key, Simon.
Let me go.
Don't worry. Just trust in the pizza. I'm the anonymous tipper. FK.
It's on the corner of 3rd Street. A 69 Pontiac GTO.
You've got excellent taste. Lend me your gun, too.
Agent Jones! Don't you see what you're doing here? This is a severe obstruction of justice. You're violating the FBI code.
Yeah, Aaliyah, I know, but pizza will never betray me.
Pizza?
Tell Abrahams to prepare a private jet for me at the airport. I know Robert won't turn his back on me.
Wait, Morgan, are you serious? The chief would never lend out a private jet to a civilian like,
I have to leave you for a bit, my fairy. They'll be fine. They'll figure it all out. York, can you hear me? I'm going to go finish the job you started. That makes us even, okay? York, she really is a genius agent. She's probably going to end up being an even better agent than we were. She just needs more experience under her belt. She's still only pursuing the world she can see with her naked eye. She needs to experience more frustration. She needs to strengthen herself. On the other hand, Simon's much smarter than he looks. No wonder he was able to go on watching us for 4.5 years. All that struggling under the surface paid off in the end. Do you want to know why he decided to start trusting me? It's simple. It's all because of the name I used to send the tip to the FBI. It's the name of that pizza parlor, the Chicago-style place with those trademarked crimson boxes. Franklin's Kitchen. FK. Yet again. They've got the best deep dish pizza in the area. Both Simon and I love that place. That's why I told him, pizza will never betray you. Will it, York?
Ugh.
York, it's almost time. Let's finish this. I'll be there soon. Watch my back, will you? This is going to be my final battle. So I'm this far gone, huh? But unlike 14 years ago, I feel more at home in this world now.